Buongiorno, buonasera. Hello, all Milanistas out there. Welcome today to our first ever betting tips with a P podcast. So I'm really grateful and happy to introduce Nathan, who was with us in one of our previous podcasts. He is our what we're going to call our betting guru because I've mentioned before I am into match betting. I don't do straight betting, but what we're going to do is something quite fun. We are going to start with a pot of £10 each, and then Nathan and I, week in, week out, we are going to put in our preferred bets. And at the end of the season, whatever profit we make, we're going to give the money to charity. So it's all for a good cause. Remember, I don't promote gambling, but this is for a good cause and for just a little bit of fun. And we're going to try and give some money and generate some money for charity. So, Nathan, you ready to do this? We're going to go through some
Let's go.
stats. All right, fantastic. So, we're going to have some rules, Nathan. The smallest bet possible is 50 pence, and the maximum amount to stake every week is 50% of the total amount that we have in the bank. Okay. So for you today, your maximum amount is £5. Same for me. All right. So let's go through some facts about the match. Right. Next slide. So this is our starting lineup as predicted by La Gazzetta and One Football. You will see that Reindeers is not starting. He is in fact rested, or is he suspended, Nathan? Do you know?
Suspended.
He's suspended,
Suspended.
right?
Yeah.
Yes. And so we're going to probably have Benacer and Adley starting, but every other player on that starting lineup is identical to what we've seen before. On Napoli's side, we have a predicted 4-3-3. Osimhen is not back from AFCON. That's an important thing to think about here, Nathan, as well, regarding goals and potential goal scorers. And we've got Simeone, who has proven himself to be just as much trouble for a lot of teams as Osimhen sometimes. And of course, Kvara is there. So I looked up the history of the head-to-heads between the two clubs, and it's quite interesting. Over the last 5 years, Napoli have 11 wins against us. We've only got 6 wins against them, and there are 7 draws. So historically speaking, they are more successful against us. But I think in more recent history, everyone will remember the Champions League and the Serie A matches where we have had the better of it. This is some stats on the two clubs. The crucial thing here that I want to point out is that in Serie A, our average goals conceded between the two clubs is pretty much identical. 1.2 goals conceded per game. The big difference between us is actually in the goals scored. We've scored an average of 2 goals per game, and they've only done 1.5 goals per game. I would say that they're probably on track for putting a worse title defense than we did, which is quite some achievement because I think historically ours is either the worst or one of the worst.
Yeah.
Our pass accuracy is very similar between the two, but they keep better possession overall, which is not surprising to me. So they have this season 10 wins, 5 draws, 7 losses, whilst we have 15 wins, 4 draws, 4 losses in Serie A. So they actually sit in 7th place, which is shocking to realize that. But as the stats prove, they have 26 goals against. We have 27. So they still have a better defense than ours, despite this. And they are going to be struggling to make the Champions League, if I'm honest. Now, let's look at Serie A form. In Serie A form, we are looking at being undefeated in the last 6 games. Napoli, on the other hand, they're undefeated in just 3 games. They've actually had a pretty rotten run of form. If we look at the full time results, we, according to the bookmakers, are big favorites 1.96 to 1. The draw is 3.76 to 1. And a Napoli win is almost 4 to 1. So I want you to think about this, Nathan, when you are thinking about where to put your bets. On first goal scorers, Giroud is actually the favorite, 5.5 to 1. Anytime goal scorer, so if he scores at any time during the game, is 2.62 to 1. Leao, he hasn't scored in Serie A in many months, actually. So I'd say that these odds are a little bit tight. They could be a bit more generous, to be honest with you. He is only 3 to 1 to score at any time, or 6.5 to score, to be the first goal scorer. Um, they apparently have someone called Cyril Ngonge as their favorite for first goal scorer. I am not sure about this particular player at all mentioned as first goal scorer. Sometimes I've got to say, Nathan, that British bookmakers they don't really follow. So they put players on there that are probably not even on the starting lineup, which is
Yeah, because he was on that predicted starting lineup.
well, there you go. You see, that's the kind of stuff that British bookmakers do. So I'd say look at Kavicha as potentially interesting odds here.
Yeah,
He's 10 to 1 for first goal scorer or 4.33 for anytime goal scorer. So in the American system, if you put $100, you win 433 here if you were to do this. And Politano, anytime goal scorer, 5 to 1. That's not a bad bet. Now, I know you've liked to talk about goals over and under. So the bookmakers have realized that both Napoli and Milan concede a lot of goals. And so they're saying that it's a bit more likely that the game is going to have more than 2.5 goals. So 3 goals or more, your odds are going to be only 1.8 to 1. For it to be a tight game like a 1-1 or a 1-0 or a 2-0 is 2 to 1. Both teams to score, they definitely think that both teams will score. So it's only 1.7 to 1. And a no for both teams scoring. Someone having a clean sheet in this game, to me, is a bit of a rarity, but
yeah.
it's 2 to 1, 2.05 to 1. And then this is a bit of a special here, Nathan. Results and both team to score. This is a special for this particular company. So Milan to win and both teams to score is 3.75 to 1. Napoli to win and both teams to score is 6.5 to 1. The absolute maximum odds is a draw, which is 0-0. They'll give you 12 to 1 on that. But I think that would be like burning your money doing that. So,
Yeah.
Nathan, having looked at all that, what would you pick? And I'm going to take notes.
Well, the bookmakers are pretty. First things first, want people to understand that even though bookmakers are kind of iffy sometimes, bookmakers do know what they're talking about. Uh, so they are pretty spot on with the both teams to score for sure. Milan and Napoli just leak goals all day, so uh, both teams to score is 100% a safe bet. Also, there's most likely gonna be a clear winner. So taking into account both teams to score, you're pretty safe with the over and under with going with the over 2.5.
Hmm.
Uh, as y'all know, 2 plus 1 actually equals 3, so you'll
Yeah.
be you'll be safe with that. Um, I don't see Napoli having the firepower to beat us,
Hmm.
but despite our victories, this is one thing to note. Despite our victories, Milan does not look comfortable at the moment. Like all of our games, teams just kind of walk through us. So that's something to look to. But that front three for Napoli is just not scaring anyone at the moment. So uh, 2 to 1, I think, is pretty realistic.
So you would put over 2.5, yes?
Yeah.
So Nathan over 2.5. How much would you like to put on that, Nathan?
Um, you said my max was 5. Uh,
Maximum is 5, sir.
um, let's go with uh, let's go with 2.
£2 on that. Very
Yeah.
good. Right, that's jotted down. What about first goal scorers? Have you got anything that you fancy looking at these?
Mm, I could see Giroud getting the first goal. I don't see Leao scoring. Like, Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah.
Uh, I could definitely see Giroud scoring first.
You want to do that?
Uh, uh, man, I could see either Giroud or like Politano scoring first. Like, I really can see it.
Politano's good odds, 12-1, Nathan. Even
Yeah,
putting a small amount on that would be a good, even if you put a pound or 50p on that, that's a good shot, I think.
yeah, yeah. I can do so. I'm trying to think of the conversion. So half a pound is so after pounds it's pence. So like 50
50
pence is
pence.
okay. Yeah, we can do like 50 pence on
50p on Politano.
yeah,
Politano first, yeah?
yeah,
Okay. Is there any other bets that's taking your fancy? Remember, you don't have to spend the £5. You just
yeah. Um no, I think that's it. So what other things are y'all able to bet on? So like the site I would normally use, I can bet on yellow cards, I can bet on corner
yeah,
kicks.
that kind of stuff can, but I would have to pull it up and we'd have to look at it
Yeah,
live.
okay, yeah, okay. Yeah,
Um,
that's too much work.
yeah. I think for next time, Nathan, if you want to see those odds,
Mm,
we can put them up.
okay.
I think what I'm going to do, looking at everything, I am going to go for my bet. I'm going to do it Leao first, right?
Oh,
John puts
making them
Leao first, and I'll put a pound.
okay.
And then I am going to Milan to win and both teams to score.
Yeah,
Okay.
that just seems like the obvious one.
Yeah, 3.75 to win, both teams to score, and I'll put another pound there. So that should get our week started, and let's see how we do by next week. All right, Nathan?
Yeah, sounds good.
That's good, man. So we'll catch up next week and we'll see how we've done. We'll keep a league table. Hopefully, we don't run out of money very quickly.
Man, because look, we can say all this stuff and then Napoli wins 1-0 or something like
Can you
that.
imagine? That would be enormous. It'd be hilarious. But anyway, that's the fun of this, isn't it? We're trying to win money for charity. So maybe next week when we talk, we will maybe
See
choose
if
a
we get
charity
lucky.
each. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Nathan. Thank you very much. This will be posted. See you later, man.
See ya.